how to be a leader.
Be the front and face of the organization.
Opportunity to meet and network with persons.
In the importance of building and maintaining relationships.
I don't think anyone can pass through this process unchanged, even if you don't intend to. For me, it was my knowledge, increasing knowledge of self, and recognition that to be a good leader, the transformation must be with you first. Your language, your ability to listen, the various tools that help you to understand yourself and to deal with people better.
Prior to the CLP, I had not paid sufficient attention to the tremendous value that relationships, both with the people you like as well as those you don't like, have to play in achieving the objectives of my ministry. I had been generally dismissive of difficult relationships and focused more on those people that I can relate with, not recognizing that building relationships with people at all levels of the organization, both those above and those below, and not being dismissive, was fundamental in achieving the advancements of the objectives of the ministry.
This has been a completely life-changing moment in my life, personally and professionally. And that became very evident a couple of months ago. There was a colleague that I worked with years ago, and he had rejoined the ministry that I work with. And we had a meeting. It was a very, very difficult conversation. And after the meeting, he came to me and said, "P.S., you are not you." And I said to him, "What do you mean I'm not me? I'm me. I haven't changed." He says, "Oh my gosh, you have." And I said, "I don't understand what you're saying." I thought the meeting went pretty okay. He said, "Precisely." He says, "You listened to everyone and you engaged everyone." And in the back of my mind was 110% listening and total engagement. And he says, "You didn't even seem annoyed by anyone, and there were so many people talking nonsense in the meeting." I said, "But no, they weren't. You have to consider what they're saying and have unconditional positive regard for them." And at that moment, I knew that the leadership program had been effective.
I have always recognized the importance of building relationships and maintaining relationships. But I think there comes a point when you're trying to get a certain task done that when you need to get it done, that you kind of said, "Okay, I need to move now," and you don't worry about the relationship so much. This experience has taught me to value that a lot more, to work on my relationships a lot more, to achieve my objectives. And similarly, the whole concept of 110% listening and unconditional positive regard for other people is a valuable piece of learning that I have garnered through this experience in helping me to build and maintain my relationships.
One of the other aspects that it has caused me to develop significantly is the whole aspect of unconditional positive regard.
The most profound for me, though, is unconditional positive regard. This, I find, is therapeutic in building relationships within the organization. I have started utilizing that tool, and I have seen positive results. It makes such a big difference when you can approach someone without assuming or seeing the negatives. Although you know there are negatives, you approach it in such a positive attitude that the results that you receive is so amazing. And I find that to be the most significant for me so far as a leader.
By giving what we've learned as unconditional positive regard to everybody in every aspect of life, really just revolutionized my entire perspective of the world, of my family, of government, how government operates. and is fundamental to how I now will approach my work.
CLP has been very, very important for me in two ways. One, helping me to understand more of myself, and especially in learning to express myself. And the two, learning to appreciate and understand my staff in particular, but generally others, and giving them regard.
There have been so many transformational learnings that we have had from the program, but I would say mainly relating to relationships. One of them, which I've found difficult, but I've been trying to put it into practice, unconditional positive regard. And the other one has to do with the fact that getting engagement from employees, one of the best way to do that is to try and strengthen the individual relationships with the employees.
I think the most significant impact for me of this entire journey has been seeing how I impact my decisions and how I impact others and how that impacts on my success. I think this entire program has allowed me the opportunity to seriously sit and think about me, and starting from the EQI up until all the tools I was given to allow me to improve in the very early stage of my leadership career. But I think at a very crucial stage, being able to see really how important relationships and people are to my success.
I've also recognized that as a leader, I'm not alone, neither in my country nor in the region, because the problems which we discuss at this level are, if not identical, at least very similar in nature. So CLP has strengthened ties. CLP has reduced the isolation and alienation that I have felt as a leader in my own sphere of activities.
How can I, as a manager, as a leader within my organization, as a permanent secretary, be the front and face of the organization to work through and with my minister to make the best functioning ministry that it can be. So all in all, I can say the CLP has helped me to realize and understand and to look at methodologies as to how we can improve ourselves.
To become a better leader, you actually have to learn to listen to people, understand where they're coming from, and appreciate the context that they bring to your discussions as a leader. And there are key differences between what you think you are doing and what your colleagues, your clients, those persons to whom you deliver that service actually view you. And it's kind of a hard lesson to learn that you need to know yourself before you can even in some ways begin to start to change organizations, because those organizations might be a reflection of what might be considered your failures or those areas that maybe in which you can improve.
The community-based approach we learned from this program enables me also to feel that I have to be very engaged, connected with my people. If I want to be a good leader, I need to have this feeling so that I can do better performances.
I can confidently say that now, since I have been engaged in the CLP program, I've been focusing a lot on how I deliver as a leader. It helped me to focus on how do I engage with my staff, how do I relate with people. More and more as I meet staff, I try to understand their perspective, where they're coming from, and certainly help to control myself and engage them in a much more constructive manner. And so for me, the CLP has been one of the greatest things that has impacted my leadership.
It has been for me a reflective, critical, analytical period. And I have observed, and others have observed in me, a significant improvement in terms of my empathy, in terms of my ability to listen and to find solutions using a team approach, using a critical, I'd say an appreciative inquiry approach. So CLP has provided me with a suite of tools which are very important in solving problems, recognizing at first that there are problems, and in solving problems.
I've learned what it is to have difficult conversations with persons who are your superiors and even persons who are junior to you. I have learned also how to face the tiger, to have really difficult situations and having to deal with them and not to lose focus of yourself and your professionalism as the head of an organization. So I think I have benefited tremendously, and I look forward to having other persons from my organization attend the program and from my country as well.
Two things have been very, very impactful that have led to greater changes in my own life and work. And they have to do with appreciating questions, the art of questioning. We've spent a lot of time working on in the program, and I've come to love questioning. It was something that I didn't appreciate much at all. And the secondly, 110% listening. And you can clearly see how the two related. Appreciating questioning and really listening to people. And it has really worked for me so far with my staff, with my superiors. And I have come to understand how important it is to give regard to others and the way they view things, whether it's perceive a reality, whatever, but it's to have an appreciation for them.
It has changed my way of doing things. I've been exposed to very, very effective and practical tools that I can use immediately and that I've been using. And there have been positive results, both in my professional sphere as well as in my personal sphere, especially with my relationship with my daughter. She's a teenager, and the communication principles that we've learned, listening, is working wonders.
My most significant change certainly would have to be my approach to listening. The 110% listening has significantly changed my approach to leadership and management. I have implemented it. Previously, I thought of multitasking, but coming to this course, I realized that's really a myth.
The 110% listening. I'm amazed at how by listening a lot more and paying more attention to what is being said to me has been able to change not only my perception of things, but to be better able to understand what my colleagues are saying, and very importantly, as a regulator, to listen to our stakeholders. And what has also been fundamental and profound is that the more you listen to people, especially work colleagues, both those colleagues you work with directly and your colleagues across other ministries, it significantly enhances and improves your relationship. So I would say that 110% listening has changed me. I'm a new person. It has not only occurred in my professional life, it has also occurred in my personal life. And as a result of listening more, I have learned a lot more, and certainly I know I'm a completely different person as it relates to listening and listening attentively.
If there's a tool that I have used, hopefully effectively since the program, it has to be the 110% listening, deepening the relationships. And big aha moment for me was the relationships you build really help you to accomplish the things you set out to do. And so having the ability to learn the communication tools, develop my listening skills, being more strategic in terms of my relationship building has been really a big aha moment.
Sometimes we were giving answers to employees and to colleagues because we thought we heard the real story. And now while we're using the technique of 110% listening, it enables you to not hear more, but also see more and be better aware, better equipped to give better answers or ask more questions.
For me, the question of
innovation, transformation, change is one of the significant realizations that is become very important as I went through the journey. The importance of being true to yourself, authentic, and actually living your very best self. Personal changes, small changes, large changes, all what was important in being the very best person that you can be as you continue on your journey to lead people and to be able to help change people along the way.
It caused me to think that I had to change my language that would encourage and nurture staff within the organization to use their initiative. So when they would come with a recommendation or suggestion, instead of knocking it down, I would say, okay, let us see how we can explore that one. I undertake, coming from our exercise yesterday, I undertake to be a force for transformational change that will lead to a more efficient and effective organization.
As a result of that critical examination of myself, I then tried to, in dealing with others and dealing with situations, view myself as they might be viewing me. And in that way, I'm able to regulate my behavior to gain greater understanding of others' needs and to put their needs into perspective within the context of the organization or the ministry and the needs of the ministry and the services which we as officials or which I as a leader would need to provide to further the mandate of the Ministry of Education.
For me, the very useful part of this program has certainly been the opportunity to meet and network with persons of my level from throughout the Caribbean, and that has been invaluable, I think, in terms of getting perspectives, in terms of getting support, in terms of the sharing that has happened, where you can feel free now to pick up the phone and to call someone who may be going through the same things or would have had the experience, and therefore you can assist you in coming to your conclusions or your resolutions, and that has been invaluable.
One thing that was significant and impacted on me immensely was the power in networking. And I think coming out of this entire leadership process, what came out clear is the importance of networking within the region, networking within your own ministries. I think the teamwork aspect of it and the fact that you can become a stronger leader if you are inclusive of everyone was evident in this entire process. I'm now comfortable in calling other PSs, other CEOs in the region, and asking them their input on a specific problem in my ministry, because you know what? Regionally, all our problems are virtually similar. So it's nice to know that I can call someone that I know that I have that put a face to assist in the process. So thanks to CLP, you have made this become easier to do within the region.
The change in behavior occurs at two levels, really. The first level, at the organizational level, the program gave me the opportunity to develop a network of similar placed public servants in the Caribbean who I can rely on for information, for advice, and for guidance if necessary. And at the personal level, this program really caused me to look at myself differently. I always thought that I was the best thing since sliced bread. But the program really caused me to take an introspective look at myself, and I've been able to adjust a number of my behavior patterns and the way I thought about a number of things. I think about them differently now. And I think I'm a better person and a better manager for at the end of it all. So I really think the program is really useful at the personal level and at the organizational level, if I can look at it that way.
And CLP has also given me that opportunity to bring a greater work-life balance to myself. And coming out of it, that would probably be my biggest achievement and biggest gain from CLP. Just having that better balance makes me, in effect, a better leader.
The CLP has been a phenomenal program that has impacted me tremendously.
I get also tools to serve my citizens better. The citizens who are my client, and who I have to serve. Thank you, CLP. Thank you, facilitators. Thank you, Canada, for doing this for the Caribbean. Because in doing this, I got friends from all over the Caribbean. I got friends in Canada. Thank you.
We have worked with each other. We have helped each other. We have rehearsed with each other. We have simulated with each other, and it has provided a bond, a strength. And I look forward to continue the growth in my own leadership journey, and also tracking with my colleagues how they themselves develop as we go forward.
I would certainly recommend this program to anyone who is desirous of becoming an effective and efficient leader.